Hi everyone. My name is Funmi Akingbade. You're welcome back one more time to Time Out with Funmi Akingbade. I'm your one and only bedroom instructor. And today we are going to listen to another delectable episode of Time Out with Funmi Akingbade. I want you to subscribe. I want you to be part of it. I want you to listen to it. It's very informative, very educative, and very, very inspiring. And when you're listening, don't listen alone. Call your spouse. Tell your friends. It's free. And please, you can ask me questions. Send your questions. I answer them. And today we are going to look into one beautiful aspect of sex called frigidity. Before I go to what I want to say, let me read a question here by one Mrs. Aja Okuta. Hello, Funmi. I've been married now for 2 years and I absolutely hate sex. It seems my mind and body is totally disconnected. It seems my mind and body is totally disconnected because sometimes my body shows signs of arousal, but my mind does not flow with it. Our body shows signs of arousal, but I might say, no. I'm so much more comfortable with friendship with my husband than sexual love. But I know that sexual love is essential to a healthy marriage. How can I get my mind and body in shape? So that's what we're looking at today. A woman, a wife, a mother, getting her mind and her body in shape. How do you deal with frigidity? Is frigidity a myth? Is frigidity real? If it's not a myth, if it's a real, how do I deal with it? If it's a myth, how do I deal with it? Now, I'm going to answer the questions I sent to her before I actually tell you a bit of what I have in stock for us. Now, the answer is, if your body can get sexually aroused, your mind can come along. When it does, your sexual relationship will contribute much more to your overall marital success. Now, the fact that you occasionally sense physical arousal indicates that your physiological response is intact. Now, she said her body feels the arousal, but her mind is off, so there is no connectivity. Now, I'm saying to distinguish myth from reality now is that the fact that she can feel sexual arousal in her body, then we don't have a psychological problem at hand. Rather, we don't have a physiological problem at hand. We do not have a biological problem at hand. Rather, we have a psychological problem at hand, which is psychosomatic in nature. The problem of the mind affecting the body and shutting the body down. Now, my solution to your thinking problem is that you exploit the background of your attitude. Now, it's not that our body is not ready. She feels the arousal, but our thinking faculty shuts it down. So it's psychological and not physiological. It's psychological and not physiological. Sorry, I won't be able to take this. I won't be able to take this question now. But let's go ahead. Now, my solution to your thinking problem is that you exploit the background to your attitude. There are many developmental byways that can create roadblocks to sexual pleasure. Probably the most common is a negative attitude about sexuality in your family origin. Now, this is the answer. We've established the fact that it's not physiological, it's not biological, it had to be psychological. Now, to pinpoint what might be the issue is that over the years, there might be some things, some issues, some incidents that over the year have affected the mindset. And the mindset now, the mindset now tell the body what to do or what not to do and shut it down. Now, if we locate those issues that are affecting the mind and change the attitude of the mind, then the problem is over. The most common is a negative attitude about sexuality, which might have origin from our family issue or our background. If you have a negative attitude towards sex, in fact, some women have a negative attitude towards men. They just think that men should not be it. That I rather go with a woman. I would rather have a one-on-one with a woman than a man. If you have that mindset, and though it's there, it's not exhibited, you don't see a man as a sexual, you don't see your spouse as a sexual partner. Mothers who have had unpleasant duty that women must endure such, of course, will definitely have a negative effect on such offspring. Now, if you have a mother who would tell you that there's nothing about sex, just give the man in the night, give him whatever he wants in the night, there's nothing about sex, open your eye in marriage, it's more than that. Now, a daughter that has been breed that way, when she gets into marriage, she doesn't see anything wrong about that sex. Now, or somebody that's watched a rape incident and gives, just trigger something negative in her, it could make her go frigid. Or somebody that has a spouse, a husband, that always hurry through sex, hurry through sex, rushing sex here, rushing sex there. You are going to eventually have a woman who you think is frigid and might not be frigid. A slightly different dynamic that is well mentioned but can endanger resistance to sexual fulfillment is a message of caution and restraint. Now, if somebody starts cautioning you and restraining you, that and that one is so much on you, and you don't get married, it will affect you. This may help a girl keep herself pure before marriage, which are highly recommended. But if the prohibition is not removed after marriage, it can easily be carried over into marriage. Good girls most times don't enjoy sex. Ideally, good girls should enjoy sex, but probably you've been tutored, you've been taught about sex, but now good girl, you now enter marriage, don't still carry all the teaching that you should abstain from sex while you're single. Also, don't carry the mindset into marriage. Try to see that now marriage, on marriage bed, you can exploit sex to the level you want. Now, good sex don't enjoy marriage. It's a powerful message that has a bouncing back effect. More destructive and regrettably common is a history of sexual abuse, which I've earlier on said. Then the memories of that trauma are often represented and unconsciously. They are repressed, but they are unconsciously dead. But they also have lasting impact on the emotional response to sexual intimacy with your spouse. Avoidance of the emotional pain that has been repressed requires mental resistance that effectively shuts down motivation for sexual intimacy. There is also the possibility that the problem is related to relational issue between husband and wife. Now, let me cap up what I've been saying. Now, if you're trained to be a good girl, don't let the training go into your marriage. Good girl don't enjoy sex. Don't let it go into marriage. After marriage, exploit sex to the max. Then, if you also have seen a rape issue, sexual abuse issue, or you've been one, or something like that, it will affect your mental faculty. the thoughts might be repressed, but it's still there. If you don't take your time to take it out of yourself, the repression can, the lead on the repression can be taken off, and you now started thinking of it. And while you are thinking of it, you may be acting it out in your marriage. So we have to look at this. So deal with the root of the problem. When you deal with the root of the problem, it will be easy. Because this person said, our body responds, but our mind just shut it up. If your mind is shutting something up, what has affected that mind? Has it been something from your background, your family background, past experiences, or shows that you watch, or things that happen to you? So you have to deal with those things that happen to you. Then when you deal with such, then you can take over your mind, which you eventually just take, just flow with your body. Another one that I want to say is this. Most of the time, many people think frigidity is more of a sickness, of a disease. I think it is when you over-exaggerate it that it now become a sickness or a disease. It first starts from being a physiological issue. It starts from being a physiological issue. When it's treated, that's all. Don't allow it to exceed that. When it exceeds that, it now becomes a medical issue. And also, I need us to know that always encourage your husband not to see foreplay as a punishment. Because when your sexual language is well understood by your spouse, you will realize that every other thing about frigidity is a walkover. Tell your spouse your sexual hotspots, this, and this. If you do this, do this, do this, whatever level of frigidity, it's always been overcome. That's number one. Then number two, what is the relationship between you and your husband? If you detest your husband, if you're always arguing, if there's enmity between you both, if you hate your husband for not helping you out with house runs, school runs, raising the children, you will be frigid towards him on bed, even though you're a very good sexual person. So if you have unforgiving spirit, you will be frigid. Unforgiveness is one of the causes of frigidity. If you have a threat towards your spouse, if you have a threat towards your spouse, people, the mother, the sister, there will be an aggression, the aggression will be transferred to your husband because maybe he's not handling the case well. So frigidity, more or less, is if you don't handle it well, you turn it to something else that it shouldn't be. So that's why some people say it's a myth, that it really doesn't exist. Why they are saying it's a myth, that it doesn't really exist, is because it's treatable. It's treatable, and when it's treatable, it's gone. So I need us to know that, first, mindset. When you deal with the issue of mindset, secondly, what is your state of mind? If you're having hatred, unforgiving spirit, you detest some things, so your husband is just performing in many areas, even financially. When you're not financially satisfied, or you think he's not addressing issue the way you should address it, and those issues are bothering you, he's not standing up to you, he's not defending you, you become frigid. You become frigid. So I need us to know this. We are going to go off for today, and I also want us to know that we still have more episodes coming. If you want to watch, go and subscribe. And also watch this, just watch this with your friends, with your spouse, and also recommend it. I am still your one and only bedroom instructor, Funmi Akingbade. I will be going for now. But before I go, I need you to know that keep your sex bed hot and pray. The family that prays together, stick together, stay together, and battle together, and win together. So I will leave you for today. Until next time. Bye for now. Bye.